Good afternoon, my dear students. In today's live class, we were studied about the nutrition in ruminants, and also we were started the next chapter in biology, that is the 10th one, respiration in organisms. Okay, so first one is nutrition in ruminants. We know that certain animals like cow, buffaloes, sheep, deers, etc. They will quickly eat. When they get the food, they will quickly eat, chew it and mix it with saliva, then swallow it suddenly. And when they find a safe place, they will move to that place and again rechew the food by bring it back to their mouth. Why such kind of animals do so? Because such kind of animals are really afraid of the attack from the carnivores. So that's why they will eat quickly and move to a safe place to rechew that food material. Okay, and such kind of rechewing is termed as rumination, and these animals are termed as ruminating animals or ruminants. And the most peculiar feature of the ruminants are they have a compound stomach. They have a compound stomach which have 4 chambers. First one is rumen, then it is followed by reticulum, omasum and abomasum. These are the 4 chambers of stomach in ruminants. And how the nutrition process occurs in ruminants, we can study that. First, they will swallow the chewed food is swallowed, and first it is reached in rumen. First largest chamber of stomach is termed as rumen, and from where the partial digestion of food takes place. The partial digestion of food takes place inside rumen, and that food is termed as cud. That partially digested food is termed as cud. And there is certain bacteria present in this rumen that helps to digest cellulose present in the food. We know that usually this kind of animals eat grass and grass products. So that contains cellulose. So cellulose is digested with the help of bacteria present in rumen. And after that, the food is passed into the next chamber called reticulum, from where the food is returned back to their mouth. From reticulum, the food is returned back to their mouth and rechew it. And after rechewing, they will swallow the food again by bypassing these 2 chambers. So after rechewing, the food is not reaching these 2 chambers. It is directly swallowed into the 3rd chamber, which is the smallest one, that is called as omasum. Omasum is the smallest chamber, and from that part the food is broken down to smaller pieces. From omasum, that food is then passed into abomasum, which is the 4th chamber, and that contains gastric juice. And this gastric juice contains HCl and enzymes. With the help of these, the food is completely digested inside the abomasum. And after the complete digestion, it is passed into the small intestine, and from where the absorption takes place inside the small intestine. After completing the absorption, the undigested food is passed into large intestine, from where the egestion occurs. We know that egestion is the removal of waste. So from the large intestine, the egestion takes place in ruminants. This is about the nutrition in ruminants. And there are some animals like horses and rabbits. They have a large sac-like structure present between the esophagus and small intestine, and that sac-like structure is termed as cecum. And in such kind of animals, cecum contains a bacteria that helps to digest the cellulose. Okay, so cecum helps in digestion of cellulose with the help of bacteria present in it. And in humans, we don't have the ability to digest cellulose because we don't eat such kind of grass product in raw form. So we don't have the ability to digest cellulose. That's all about the chapter. There is nothing to take from that chapter. This is the final topic, nutrition in ruminants. I hope all of you understood this. Without any lagging, we can move to the next chapter in biology, that is respiration in organisms. We know that cell is the basic unit of life, or we can say that cell is the structural and functional unit of life. And there are different types of cells present in our body that have different functions too. Respiration, nutrition, digestion, all these processes are taking place in different cells. Right. So, how these processes are occurring in our body? Only if there is energy, sufficient energy, we can carry out all these processes. And how do we get this energy? We have already studied that from the food that we eat, we get energy. We know that by the breakdown of food material, the energy is released. And how this breakdown occurs? Have you know that? Yeah, in this chapter we are going to discuss about the release of energy and how it is taking place. It is related with the respiration. Only if there is respiration, the breakdown and the release of energy from the food occurs. All living organisms will respire to release energy from food. As we already studied that the release of energy only takes place with the breakdown of food material. So it is take place only if there is respiration. So respiration is a very important process to release energy in our body. Okay, and there is a definition for respiration which is mentioned in your textbook. I will just read that. Respiration is the process of taking in oxygen. During respiration, we take in oxygen, using it for the release of energy by the breakdown of food. By using that respired oxygen, we break down the food material to release energy, and removing the waste products, carbon dioxide and water. And carbon dioxide and water are the two byproducts of respiration. Okay, so through respiration, the breakdown of food occurs, and its consequent release of energy also occurring. And there are two types of respirations are there: internal respiration and external respiration. External respiration means breathing. It is occurring outside our body with the help of nose. We breathe in. That external process is termed as external respiration, and internal respiration is also there. Inside the cells also the respiration occurs. So that is why it is otherwise called as cellular respiration. Internal respiration otherwise called as cellular respiration. I will just read what is internal respiration. The process of taking in air rich in oxygen and the process of release of air which is rich in carbon dioxide through the respiratory organ is termed as external respiration. Simply breathing. We take in air that is rich in oxygen and we exhale or giving out the air rich in carbon dioxide with the help of a part or an external respiratory organ called the nose. That process is termed as external respiration. And internal respiration or cellular respiration means the process of breakdown of food to release energy is called internal respiration. It takes place in cells of all organisms. And the cellular respiration again divided into two: aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration means it occurs only with the presence of oxygen, and there is a special type of respiration called anaerobic respiration which takes place in the absence of oxygen. Okay, so these are the things that we have taken in our live class, and the rest of the portion will be taken in our next class. Thank you.